After a main story mission complete on Pharaohs, probably be a good idea to go talk to everybody, see if they have anything new to say.
Never a dull moment with you, Shepard.
You ever go on any missions like ours before?
Saving the galaxy from certain destruction? No. But I've had my share of adventures.
Do you remember any that stick out?
A few. I remember one time I was hired by a Volus diplomat. What an ass.
I guess even politicians have need of mercs from time to time, huh?
Time to time. If it wasn't for politicians, I'd be out of work. They're always looking for ways to get ahead. This one was no different. He wanted me to erase his past. Get rid of an old friend who knew too much. Huh. His old friend turned out to be an Asari commando.
I can see where that might give you pause.
What? No. Alina and I were old friends. Sort of. We met when we were both contracted to kill the same Turian. Neither of us wanted the other one to get him first. We spent more time fighting each other than tracking that Turian.
An Asari Commando mercenary. That's unusual, isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's unusual. Mercs come in all shapes. Anyway, when I told Alina about the diplomat's contract, she and I had a good laugh about it.
So what'd you do?
Well, I wasn't going to lose the contract, but I respected Alina. In the end, I let her pick the location where we'd fight. She chose some old Solarian space station overrun with mercs and smugglers. That way we didn't have to worry about hurting any innocent bystanders. Huh. She always was a bit of a softie.
What happened on the station?
What didn't happen? For 2 days I chased her through that station. Used my entire store of ammunition. Had to kill a bunch of mercs and use their crap weapons. By the 3rd day, the station was barely holding together. The mercs were dead or gone. Life support was failing. But I had her. She'd locked herself in the med labs. She was trying to patch herself up. Damn tough, that one. Then just when I thought I had her, the station's core went critical. Barely made it back to my ship in time.
I assume the Asari Commando didn't make it.
I watched the station from a distance. I never saw her leave. And when that place blew, there was nothing left larger than a Turian's right nut. So I headed back to the diplomat to give him the good news and collect my pay. But before I got halfway there, Alina sent me a message. Better luck next time. Now, I'm not superstitious, but if someone can survive that, well, they deserve to live. At least for a bit longer.
What about the diplomat? He wanted her dead.
I told him the truth. Alina was still alive and she was really pissed. I told him if he wanted to live, he'd need me around to protect him.
And he believed you.
He kept me on as his personal guard until he died. Natural causes. Easiest job I've ever had. A little boring, but credits are credits.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Commander?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm off duty until tomorrow. I was gonna have a small drink. Bit of a celebration. If you're interested.
What's the occasion?
It's Armistice Day, when the first contact war ended. My family always marks it. Since I'm the only Williams aboard, I thought I'd ask you.
Seems like an odd thing to celebrate. That was 26 years ago.
In our family, it's not really a celebration, more like an obligation. Don't tell me you don't know about my family. My commanders always find out. It's not in my files or something?
There's almost nothing in your files. Technical scores and a list of crap assignments.
There's a reason for the crap assignments. I'm General William's granddaughter, the commander of the Shanxi garrison in the war. The only human ever to surrender to an alien race.
Don't tell me you're blamed for that.
Not formally. Dad got passed for promotion over and over. And I think my record merits more than garrison duty on a backwater agri-colony. Takes a special kind of thick-headed to march into a job where your family's blacklisted. I did it anyway. I'm not gonna let our name go down with Arnold and Quisling. Granddad deserved better than that.
What happened to your grandfather after the war?
He was relieved of command as soon as Shanxi was liberated. They brought him back to Earth in irons, but there was never a trial. They quietly demoted him and stuck him behind a desk. He retired a year later and spent the rest of his life working construction in the colonies. Sometimes we hear about attempts to get him exonerated in some official way. Nothing ever comes of them.
As I recall, your grandfather held out for a long time.
The Turians wrecked the orbitals in the first wave and occupied the major cities. They sat in orbit, dropping rocks on anything that moved. Granddad dispersed the troops. But when they went into the cities for supplies, the Turians would wreck a block to eliminate one fire team. Civilians were dying, his troops were starving, and he couldn't contact Alliance High Command. So he surrendered the garrison.
Is this why you're always going on about the Council?
If everyone else can look at Shanxi and say, this is why humanity needs to be stronger, then so can I. I'm entitled. So now you know. Gonna kick me off the ship, Skipper?
You're part of the team, Williams. I don't care what your grandfather did or didn't do.
Not to get all cheesy, but you're the first CO who's ever said that to me. Thanks, Skipper. But anyway, I've got things to do before we land. I'm sure you do too.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Commander, I wanted to thank you.
What for, Garrus?
For everything. Taking me with you, letting me be part of your team. I've learned a lot. I've thought about what you said, about eliminating the threat immediately, regardless of the cost. You were right. You were right about Dr. Salian, too. Killing him was the only solution. This way, we'll know he'll never hurt anyone again.
Words mean nothing until you turn them into action, Garrus. What are you gonna do about it?
I'm going to reapply for Spectre training. It will probably kill my father, but I've got to try. If that doesn't work, I'll do just about anything, except go back to CSEC. I'm done with them. No more red tape, no more politics. From now on, I do things my way.
I'm glad you see it that way. Keep that in mind when we meet Saren.
Don't worry, Commander. I will.
Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I'm glad there aren't many aliens like the Thorian. I don't think my stomach could take it. Hell of a deal you worked out with Jung, though. If I ever get a speeding ticket, I want you to be my advocate.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I didn't figure you'd have time to talk with all that's going on. There's gotta be some xenobiologists who want to read about the Thorian.
All in triplicate, I'm sure. Did you want to see me?
I'm just looking for an ear. The debriefing wasn't the right place to say how ridiculous this is. Seems like every other race in the galaxy is wrapped up in their own problems. They don't want to see what's coming.
It's up to the Alliance to take its proper place, even if we have to kick its ass to convince it to kick theirs.
We're out here trying to save everyone. We can worry about who's king after the dust settles.
I don't know about that. Remember Vernus? There are a lot like him.
Yeah, there are. But there are a lot who aren't like him. It was Vernus who made me see how human aliens are. They're not different or special. They're jerks and saints, just like us. Hell, by the time I got payback, I didn't even want it anymore.
Blowhards are easy to brush off. How do you finally get under your skin?
He hurt a girl, broke her arm. She reached for a glass of water instead of pulling it biotically. She just wanted a drink without getting a nosebleed, you know? Like an idiot, I stood up. Didn't know what I was gonna do, just something. And Vernus lost it. Beat the crap out of me. Kept shouting how they should have bombed us back to the Stone Age. And that's when the knife came up. A military-issue talon, right in my face. I cut loose. Full biotic kick right in the teeth. Almost as strong as I can manage now. At 17, that's something.
He deserved it.
It killed him, Shepard. Snapped his neck. They probably could have saved him if they got him to an infirmary quick enough. But they didn't. Caused a stir when they shipped him home. Bot training was shut down. Canadics folded a couple of years later. So, yeah, maybe I hated that Turian. I mean, if one ass was enough to judge a whole race, I'd hate humans too.
I don't know. You don't seem angry about the Council strong-arming the Alliance.
Commander, I thought real hard about how to use my talents. When I swore the oath to defend the Alliance, it wasn't on a whim. If it comes down to it, I am a soldier. I have to believe that my superiors can tell our enemies from people who disagree with us. If the Alliance is missing its chance, it's because of men like Udina, not the rest of the galaxy holding us back. Of course, your opinion is the one that matters, Commander.
Lieutenant, I believe we need to get you a posting in recruitment.
Sorry. I have some strong feelings on the subject. I should return to my duties now. Commander?
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
I like talking with you, Liara, no matter what the subject.
You have been very understanding with me, Shepard. Very patient. I appreciate that. I know there are some strange beliefs about my people. I am familiar with the legend of Asari promiscuity, but those rumors have little basis in fact. When one of my people joins with an individual from another species, it is a very deep and spiritual exchange. We do not enter lightly into a union.
You make it sound almost mystical.
A true union goes far beyond an ordinary melding. It is a connection that transcends the physical universe. Two become one. Thoughts and senses merge, identities intertwine. Memories and emotions weave themselves together, becoming entangled in a single, rapturous whole. It is unlike any other experience. In some cases, it can be a truly life-changing event.
Are you saying you want to...
No! Oh, no! I am not very good at this, am I? I'm sorry, Shepard. I am trying to explain why I have been so... reserved. The Union is more than just sex. It is the lifeblood of my species, the way we Asari evolve and grow as a society. That is why I have never... that is why we must choose our partners with great care.
Wait. Are you saying this is your first time?
I am only 106, barely an adult by Asari standards, and I spend most of my time absorbed in my research. I never really thought about it. Not until I met you. You are very special to me, Shepard. But with all that's happened, Saren, the Geth, the Reapers, I do not know if we are ready for this.
These are dark times, Liara. Maybe once all this is over.
I'm glad you understand, Shepard. There is too much at stake. We need to put aside our personal feelings and focus on stopping Saren. I wish it did not have to be that way. But we all have to make sacrifices. Let's talk about something else.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Alright, relationship is developing with Liara.
Good timing, Commander. We got a transmission coming in from the Citadel. Top priority clearance.
Is it the Ambassador?
It's not his signature. I think it's from the Council. I'll patch it through to the comm room.
Cool, another opportunity to hang up on them. It's one of my few simple pleasures in life, hanging up on the Council.
Commander Shepard, we've received information that may be critical to your mission against Saren.
You didn't seem that interested in helping me before. Why now?
The Council agreed that Saren was dangerous, Commander. That was why we made you a Spectre. We only balked at unleashing the full force of the Citadel fleet against him.
Nobody on the Council wants to see you fail, so we contacted you with this latest information.
We've received an urgent message from one of our infiltration regiments in the Traverse.
You mean spies?
Spectres tend to attract attention, Commander, but they are only one arm of the Council. Special task groups are often a better option for monitoring developing situations.
We currently have several infiltration units scattered throughout the border regions of Citadel space. This particular unit was gathering intel on Saren.
I don't like being kept in the dark.
We can't have you racing around the galaxy chasing false leads, Commander. We only contacted you because we feel this may be significant.
Unfortunately, the message we received was little more than static. The infiltration team must be in a situation where they can't set up proper interstellar communications. But the message was sent on a channel reserved for mission-critical communications. Whatever they were trying to tell us, we know it was important. Considering your interest in Saren, we thought you might want to investigate this. Find out what happened to our team. The signal originated from the planet Vermeer.
A missing infiltration team's not my problem. Clean up your own mess.
That unit may have sacrificed their lives to get this message out. Saren is up to something on Vermeer. You'd see that if it weren't for your stubborn human pride.
I will find Saren, but I'm doing it my way.
The Council prefers not to become involved in the specifics of Spectre activities. We only want you to be aware of all your options, including Vermeer. Good luck, Commander Shepard. We will keep you advised if we learn anything else.
Now, the Asari seems semi-reasonable, trying to keep grudges and politics out of it, regardless of what her opinion of humanity or Shepard in particular is. She at least puts Spectre activities and Council responsibilities first. Turian just has a grudge. He abuses his little position there, and he's going to make sure that humanity knows its place. Not a whole lot different attitude than Saren, and I think as close as Saren could find to an ally on the Council, and that's troubling. So he doesn't get anything good from me, regardless. Any opportunity to tell him to go fly the pigeon, I'm totally down with that. And the Salarian is just slick. I wouldn't doubt this is a Salarian infiltration team. That would be where the Salarian's concern is, as far as that goes. The Asari, we wouldn't have gotten that message right there, probably, if it weren't for the Asari. I have a sneaky suspicion of that. I just look at the Council. They covered Saren's tracks, and it wasn't just the issue on Eden Prime, and not just the issue with Captain Anderson. You can only assume that all of Saren's activities have been brutal and underhanded and backwards, and he's lied a lot. That's just his MO. That's how he operates. Easy pickings for whatever forces are controlling him now. Very easy pickings. Strong-willed when it comes to being rotten, but really weak-minded. Weak-minded individuals do the things that Saren does, and him having an ally on the Council, that's not cool. But like I say, the Asari diplomat, oddly enough, seems to be the what would you say, the calming factor in all that. She seems to be the one that's stable. kind of holding it together, so to speak. And I'm sure the Asari would like to think of themselves as that, you know, the ones responsible for holding the whole universe together as far as that goes. Yeah, anyway. Politics. Ugly business.
I need those supplies for my clinic. I can't.
You can and you will, or your story won't stay secret for long. Don't disappoint me, Doctor.
Oh, Commander Shepard, I didn't see you come in.
Every time I come in here, I see someone threatening you. Who was that?
Someone from my past. I can take care of it.
Just tell me what's going on.
I was fired by my previous employer for giving out free medical supplies to clinics like this. They never filed any charges, they just wanted me to leave without any fuss. But somebody must have found out. Now they're blackmailing me. I have to give them what they want. If the board finds out about my past, I could lose my license. They'll shut my clinic down.
Maybe I can get you out of this. Tell me what they want.
I have to give some of my medical supplies to a merchant in the markets. They expect delivery today.
Give me your contact's name. I'll deal with this guy, whoever he is.
Deal with him? But won't they expose my past?
They won't bother you again. I guarantee it.
I see. Maybe it's better if I don't know anymore. I was told to speak with a merchant named Morlan down in the markets. I really appreciate this, Commander. Thank you.
Don't worry. I'll take care of this.
Good luck, Commander. Be careful down there.
Now, one note on this particular little side quest here. Notice Dr. Michelle's in trouble again. Poor girl. I love her name and her accent. I'm shallow like that. The guy that's blackmailing, this whole little side quest, I don't think ever successfully followed it out. Unless it's bugged or glitched in some way or something, or there's something in all my playthroughs of Mass Effect I have always missed. And it has to do with this guy named Baines. Now, we can investigate Baines. We can even go talk to Captain Anderson about him. But he doesn't have anything to say except for go talk to Admiral Kahoku, who by this time I've always dealt with that whole Kahoku Cerberus thing, right? We've already done that. And maybe I'm just doing things out of order. There's a couple things in here where if you do them out of order, they can kind of mess up. But in this case, I've just never really ever found this Baines person or whatever. We'll see here in a second. Notably, I really wanted to do this. This is how you can set up an infinite credit glitch exploit, whatever you want to call it. I don't use it. I'm not going to use it. But what you can do is after you're done doing this favor here for Dr. Michelle, getting her out of this little blackmail mess, everything you sell to her, you can come back here right where we're at in the markets to that Volus merchant, expat, and buy it back. Cheaper than what you sold it to, because Dr. Michelle will not only give you a discount on her stuff, but she'll buy your stuff for extra credits. And so you sell her all your stuff, come back to expat, buy it, and then go back to her and sell it again. And you can go back and forth like that. And if you have really valuable stuff, you can make millions in a couple minutes.
Hello there. Welcome to Moorland's famous shop. You want many good supplies, yes?
You were expecting a delivery of medical supplies.
But I was told the doctor would be bringing them.
Change of plans.
A change, but the doctor... This is not right, human.
Shut up, Morlan. I told Baines you'd screw this up.
What the hell's going on here? Who are you?
Leave the doctor alone, or you'll have to deal with me.
We can end this if you just bring me those supplies. Otherwise, I'll start telling people about the doctor's little secret.
Her secret stays buried, or I bury you.
Morlan ducked.
I'm just the middleman here. This is way more than I bargained for.
Not often you find a cowardly Krogan.
Thank you, human. It is good to see him humbled so.
What do you know about Baines?
I have never met him, human. I only worked with the one who spoke with the doctor.
Goodbye.
Yes, all right then. Good tidings to you, human.
All right. Yeah, anyway, this Baines, and we can even go... I won't even drag you guys through this. I can go ask Captain Anderson about it, and he'll just tell me to go talk to Admiral Kahoku, who's... Well, we already know what happened to him, and so it's just a dead end.
How did things go?
He won't be bothering you anymore.
Really? That's a great relief, Commander. Thank you. I can't pay you for your help, but I can give you a discount on any supplies you purchase here.
A thug said he worked for a man named Baines. Sound familiar?
Baines? I wonder if he means Armiston Baines. We worked together a long time ago.
What can you tell me about him?
Last I heard, the Alliance military was contracting him for some research in the Traverse.
We should follow up with Captain Anderson.
We'll see what the captain can tell us.
I wish I could tell you more. Is there anything else I can help you with, Commander?
I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander. Nice talking to you.
Anyway, like I said, I'm not going to do the credit glitch or any of that stuff. And I do go talk to the captain, and all he just says is, Baines is dead. Talk to Admiral Kahoku if you want any more on it. Well, oh well. So much for that.
Greetings, Earth Clan. I believe congratulations are in order, Commander Shepard. You are the first human to join the Spectres, yes?
It's a great honor.
One you are no doubt ready for. A word of warning, though. There are many eyes watching you now, Commander. Some of them want to see you fail. I, however, wish you only success. Perform well and you bring the Earth Clan one step closer to joining the Council. And if they let your people in, maybe there is hope for my own species one day, yes?
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
I think Barlavon's almost a good guy, at least as far as corrupt secret-selling bolas go. Right? He's just slick. But interesting, he said two things in one breath, where if you read between the lines, there was a warning there. There are many eyes upon you, some of them want to see you fail, and then he mentions the Council. I don't think that's a coincidence. And humanity joining the Council is probably what the Council is bucking the strongest, because the Spectres is just the next step. And it's no secret that that is Udina's agenda. Get into the Spectres, get into the Council, and establish our place amongst the universe.
Officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved.
And then try to run the show. And that's what the other races are afraid of. And, that is actually reality. That is probably what humanity would do. But the other species aren't exempt from that also. They're doing the same thing. Through the Council. Turians, the Asaris, the Solarians, deciding who gets in and who stays out. They're running the show themselves. So they don't want humanity to come in and do what they themselves are doing. Right? And then it really just becomes a dog-eat-dog survival of the fittest thing. Who's the biggest kid on the block? Who can hit the hardest? That's really what it comes down to. And thus, you have the technological race. Who's got the better biotics? Who's got the better weapons? Who has the bigger ships? Who has the new tech? Who has the new whatever? And so all the genetic research and everybody using everybody else for their own gain to get an edge, to keep one leg up in a race that's going nowhere. Rather than just explore this universe that's open to you. Oh, no, we can't just explore it. We've got to own it and run it and control it. Got to have power. And that lust right there knows no end, right? Anyway, so not a bad object lesson for real life as to how people act in general. All the different races, countries, governments, and so on and so forth that we have here, well, they don't, apparently in the Mass Effect universe, they don't act a whole lot different in space either. The lizards and the squids and the turtles and the whatever, the iguanas and whatever all these different species are modeled after, they all act pretty much the same. Each after their own. And you have a few good guys in there trying to keep the peace in the midst of all that, but in general, yeah. I've heard people say, this and that. When they see a good thing happen, they say that restores my faith in humanity, and I like to reword that. That restores my faith in individuals, right? Humanity is still lost as far as that goes. No, you take humanity and you give it its way for more than 5 minutes, and if it doesn't kill everyone else, right, and doesn't destroy itself, it's going to pollute and corrupt and be like a virus in any environment that it's in a very short period of time. And that is just historical repeated pattern with no exceptions, to the point that you just got to take that as just the way it is. Like I say, just look at the evidence. Well, the evidence is unpleasant. Doesn't make it less true, you know? Anyway. Alright, so now that ship that I just located, there is a guy in the Citadel Tower. He asked us to look for his brother's ship, and he couldn't really get any help, but we said we'd go help him. Notice there's a Geth trap here, by the way. I was just running around looking for loot on our way to this base over there. But essentially, that ship was raided, it looks like, looted. I'm not exactly sure why. There's something interesting about this. Speaking of unfinishable quests or whatever, this one's finishable, but I think we're kind of putting the cart before the horse here. I think we're doing this a little early. I believe there's something we need to find on Noveria and maybe even Virmire. I don't remember, but it's some mention to this. This is more than just the guy's missing brother. Guy's brother got caught up in the middle of something. This guy's ship was pirated. For some reason, left there drifting in space, and there was some lead to this mercenary base down here. We're gonna find this guy's brother here, and he has an OSD, and we can take that back to the guy on the Citadel to let him get some closure. You know, at least let him know what's actually happened to his brother, and you know, give him the bad news. But there's more to this. His ship was pirated for a reason. I think there's some insinuation that these illegal genetic groups, I think most of them, if not all of them, at least as far as the human ones. I can't really speak for the Asari and the Turian and the Solarian research groups and genetic stuff. But as far as humanity is concerned, I think most of them, if not all of them, are a false front for Cerberus. Or some branch. They're like a tentacle of Cerberus. Or one of the heads of Cerberus. What isn't Cerberus symbolized as like a three-headed dog or something in some kind of lore or something. Anyway, I think you can look at most of the human genetics groups as essentially being an extension of Cerberus, right? They seem to be behind, or at least have their interests in all that. And it stretches into more than just these little private groups. We're talking about dealing with the military, the government, special ops, black ops, espionage, you know, everything. They've got their hands in all of that. Kind of makes you wonder if they aren't actually the shadow organization behind the all of humanity's governing interests, basically running the show, pulling all the strings. I think that would be a fair assumption, actually. Anyway, we're just starting to see them rear their ugly head. The major players in Mass Effect basically introduce themselves in Mass Effect 1. You've got the Reapers, right? Saren, the Geth, all the different races and species, of course, right? You got Cerberus as being this mysterious backroom shadow group, organization, or whatever. You get to meet the Council, understand the Council's role in governing things amongst the various species and stuff. So anyway, but we'll get to know a few of these players much better as we go along. Now this, I can proudly say, is actually, I believe, designed to be done a little bit later. We're a little bit, I don't know if we're necessarily low level for it, but we're early for this. We can go in here and take these guys out, and I love killing mercenaries and pirates and thugs and murderers and kidnappers and all that. I enjoy that, but about all we can do is find this guy's brother. We can't essentially complete this quest here. I'm speaking in hindsight. Actually, I was kind of curious as to why this thing wouldn't update, and then I remembered that there's more involved here than just this guy's brother. Anyway, but we'll go ahead and take him out while we're here. We're already down here on the planet. It's pretty profitable. Came down here, found a bunch of loot and stuff and resources and what have you. Hopefully these guys will drop some decent equipment. That would be nice. Or have some lockers in here that we can raid or something. Notice they're using Alliance turrets again. And I think each time we're seeing Alliance turrets, we're seeing a group that's associated with, once again, Cerberus. I really believe that. I don't think these are specifically Alliance heavy turrets by accident. This is supposed to be a criminal group here. Raiders, pirates. I think they're operating under the authority or the direction of some of these groups. And I want to say it's so sinister as to some of these pirate raids, some of these slave raids and things that are done. Now, maybe not by the Batarians and the others. Batarians are really, really notorious for that. Turians, not so much. I don't think Turians want to start another war. The Asari, neither. they might hire themselves as private mercenaries and stuff like that, you know, contract themselves out. But overall, I don't think, oh wow. And I finally managed to flip the Mako. Come on. I think we can hold the button and ride it, right? Okay. Anyway, that's embarrassing. Wouldn't you love getting on the intercom and calling back to the Normandy and saying, guys, we need a little help down here. Can we get a lift? What's the matter, Commander? Nothing. Don't ask. Just send help. But anyway, I think these groups, I think it gets so sinister as to where a lot of these slave raids and stuff are just to harvest people, just to gather people for their experiments, for their genetic testing. People where they basically can't be traced. You know, if the law comes in and kidnaps somebody, and then you go to the law and say, who kidnapped this person? The law is going to tell you, oh, we'll get right on that. We'll look into that. Well, you can't get the law to investigate itself, right? And so if you have the powers that be doing this stuff, then there's really nobody to hold them accountable. You know, they can kind of just do what they want, so to speak. And I think Cerberus is operating under that type of umbrella, and that's a scary thought. It gets worse. It gets worse, but it also really makes the story interesting if you think about it. I think you find in Mass Effect that there's more than one bad guy, and there's shades of bad guys. Like, there's bad guys who don't mean to be completely bad, although they are pretty much rotten. And then you have some that are completely evil and they know it, and then you have others who are so misguided that they think they're being evil is actually good, and you know, all these different flavors of bad guys, right? Oh, they're charging us. Holy crap. All right. Well, they can come to us. Certainly not going to them. We don't have to go to them, do we? Can I please pull that off, please? There we go. Nice. And my gun stops working. Oh, lovely. Awesome. See ya. Nice. No, he's got to go. Krogan, no regenerating all your health and charging us. Look at that, basically invincible. Isn't that crazy? Probably Garrus with damping could stop that or prevent that. I believe that's what damping is for, is to prevent certain... Oh, I don't know if that immunity there, I call that an immunity, where they're basically invincible. I don't know if that was a tech or a biotic. If it was a tech thing, then Garrus could have dealt with that with damping, I believe. The powers play a much more tactical role as we get into the later Mass Effects. Now they were just kind of testing, kind of feeling their oats, so to speak. But for a first game, venturing in on new ideas, new territories, I think this is just beyond amazing. This still sits. I'm not gonna say I like this better or worse than the other two. I like all three Mass Effects equally. This is, I think, the only trilogy that I could say that about, or the only series of games where I could say I like literally each installment equally. I don't like one better than the other. Get rid of these snipers, man. I think we're good. I think that's it. That's what I'm talking about. Boy, that initial charge, that was really close. We got close to getting wiped right there. All right, let's see if they have any good stuff. Give me some gear worth using, seriously. Now, strangely, these power conduits resemble what we saw with the VI on Luna, right? There was a bunch of these. Interesting. Then we saw them at the Cerberus facilities, I believe, didn't we? Interesting. And now they're here, along with Alliance heavy turrets. So there's government backing here for whatever they're doing, whatever reason they're doing it for. We see research stuff here. Looks like something of a lab. I'll take all that stuff, sure. Anyway, this is that guy's brother. Alright, so we get a data pad here. I think it makes more sense if you've been to Noveria already. Like I said, there are one or two places where if you do some things out of order, and I think any big games like this, Bethesda's notorious for that. There'll be times where if you do something first instead of later, sometimes it confuses itself. Had to watch the mic there for a second. Guy driving by outside with no muffler. Annoying. All right, anyway, we dealt with these guys. I think we can eventually catch all this up, but I think regardless of how this plays out, I think that's really the bottom line. That's the gist of it. Those are the clues that we're given to see that Cerberus / Black Ops / secret backroom government dealings or something, or supporting or supplying or helping or even starting these pirating and mercenary bands to raid these vessels that they consider to be somewhat off the charts type of thing, untraceable, or the ones that would draw the least suspicion type of thing. Anyway, there's a few more things I can grab here, but we'll go grab those, but other than that, we're pretty much done down here, I think. Yeah, see here, this UNC privateers. The Majesty, that ship that we found up in space, looks like it was attacked by privateers. It indicates a privateer base. Now, if this was the base, then we just took it out. But I think it sends you somewhere else also. You just have to go uncover that, and I think we need to hack into a computer on either Noveria and or Virmire. Not sure. Anyway, not a real big deal. I think what they were trying to tell us, I think we got that regardless. Is that there's some backroom dealings and people that are involved in things they shouldn't be involved with. The powers that be, and that's really scary. Like I say, when the lawmakers themselves are the ones doing the dirtiest dirt, that's scary. Because they're the ones that you hold responsible for keeping you safe, you know. And they're the ones doing the worst stuff. We'll go ahead and survey everything here, and then head to Noveria. We've got reports of Geth activity there also. So we can assume Saren is involved. Hopefully we can at least catch up with Matriarch Benezia. That would be nice.
Approach control, this is the SSV Normandy, requesting a vector into berth.
Normandy, your arrival was not scheduled. Our defense grid is armed and tracking you. State your business.
Citadel business. We got a Council Spectre aboard.
Landing access granted, Normandy. Be advised, we will be confirming identification on arrival. If confirmation cannot be established, your vessel will be impounded.
What a fun bunch. I think I'll take my next leave here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like looks like Geth aren't the only thing that we're gonna have to fight past to find what we're looking for here. It's like Shepard says, it's never easy, is it? Right? All right. Next stop, Noveria. We will go see what there is to see in the next one. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Got to do some little busy work here. It was fun. All right. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. And if you want to catch the rest of this Let's Play, you can click that image in the middle. It should send you straight to the playlist. Appreciate y'all watching, hanging out, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.